Hello guys and welcome back to Pure Heart. Chris here, as usual, back again with another album review. And guys, before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also comment down below what you guys thought about this album. And also if you're new here or a returning visitor and you haven't yet subscribed, then maybe hit that subscribe button. It really helps with this channel. But let's get into it. So Choose to Worship is the newest album by Rend Collective. Rend Collective is a Irish folk worship type of band. And so this is really their 7th studio project. And many people are releasing these timely albums just around this time that we're in. And this is a case in point of just one of those albums. And here's an example of how this album is at a perfect time, because I was actually reading an article about this album, and Rend Collective talked about of how this is shaped like Rabbit, and it's so much timely as this time is. This is what they said: we used a labyrinth as our album art concept to reflect the confusing messiness of life. So many twists and turns, so many little micro decisions, so much uncertainty and doubt, so much fear in the middle of all this. It can be so easy to forget to make the one choice that ultimately makes all the others insignificant, and it's to love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength. It's just, you just look at the weird thing that's happening on in this world, and how are we gonna really respond to what is happening? And with that, I hope you guys are again being safe and being smart, and glad you guys are watching this channel. And so for me, I was actually going into this album blind. I didn't know that this album was being released now. I didn't hear the 2 singles that they had, which I'll actually talk about at least one of them, because one of them is my favorite song off this album. And so listening to this album, I actually really enjoyed this album. First few listens to, I thought it was a good album. It wasn't until I saw some lyrics that I was just like, okay, but we'll talk about those in a little while. I'm not saying that there's anything bad about those lyrics, just saying we'll get to them. And so really the good about this album is, so with Rend Collective, what their strengths is whenever they do this really type of folk-ish worship, it really plays to their strength so much in this album. Their Campfire albums, if you guys ever listen to those, amazing albums. Are those albums all perfect? No, but they're more or less cover songs of either a famous song or songs that they did in the past. But musically, those always play to their strengths. Just talking about earlier, one of my favorite songs off this album from their singles that I was like, whoa, because when I actually heard of it was actually from Hillsong, did it at one of their churches, and I heard that while, scrolling through Instagram. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty nice song. And then listening to this song, I was like, I love it. And that song is Day of Victory. Man, can we get more of that? Like, just the way that it had this exciting energy of what a really good start worship, or even with this song, it's so good because it can either start a set list or it can end a set list. It's such a good song. And then the song that they play after it is called Sing It From the Shackles, another song that they released. I actually really enjoyed that. The more that you look at it lyrically and more that you listen to the music, where it sounds like, which you guys is literally things of, someone in prison and someone that has shackles. And the title track, I Choose to Worship, just of how that starts, and it's just really this, nice energy that keeps on building and building and building until the middle point where it just goes all out, and by the end you're just like worshiping. But also with Rend Collective, one of the songs that really surprised me was the song called Still, because it was more of this type of popish vibe that Rend Collective isn't really known for, and the part that I'm not a huge fan of is that popish vibe, which is apparent a few of their other songs off this album and on past albums. However, with this song, with Still, it really played to their strengths, because it was more of a slow vibe, and Rend the Heavens is also another great song that I really do recommend you guys listening to off this album. But however, as always, there's some bad. And with this album, it's not apparent at first, especially if you don't look at the lyrics. They're repeating the same type of theme over and over and over again. And with some of the songs, it's like, okay, I've already heard this theme. Those previous songs did it way better. Songs like My Advocate, Unconditional, Defiant, and even the very popular song Your Name is Power, the songs that they did earlier, did it way much better and way more just within the Rend Collective strengths. Not saying again that, you know, a worship song should always be fast and exciting and yeah, because no, those don't always work all the time. I'm just saying if you're gonna do a more slower vibe, then of a more really thought-provoking stuff rather than being like, hey, here you go. And also with some of these songs, whenever they also do this folks slash pop vibe, they have done those in the past, and I still don't care for them. Folk and popish songs should never mix with each other, mainly because it never works unless they can do it perfectly, and it's very rare that that happens. But overall, I'm gonna have to give this album a 4 out of 5 praise hands. I'm giving this a praise hands mainly because, well, one, it's called Choose to Worship, and I usually give worship albums a praise hands, and plus, this actually has a more vibe of a worship album than it does a CCM album, but then again, it also has the vibe of a CCM album, so, you know, it's a, casually praise hands, maybe? An album that I enjoyed a lot. I did have a few problems as soon as I looked at the lyrics for a lot of these songs with having just the same repetitive theme in a lot of these songs, but there's a lot of good songs that it's hard to choose from. My favorite would have to be Day of Victory, followed by Singing from the Shackles, and then Choose to Worship, and then Still, in that order. Songs that I can probably listen to again and would love it, especially Day of Victory. Such an amazing song, and it's a really timely album for what's happening in the world right now. But with that, if you guys don't mind, leave a like onto this video. Comment down below what you guys thought about this album, and also what your favorite song is, and also what you guys want me to talk about, whether it be something I missed or something that's in the future or whatever it may be. Comment down below. Again, it really helps out. And also, if you're new here or a returning visitor and you like what we do here on Pure Heart, then maybe hit that subscribe button. It really helps out this channel. And with that, you are loved. Bye.